Hello everyone, this is Chris with StickerFab. Today we're going to do an installation of a popular product, which is our 3D carbon trunk overlay. Now, a lot of the stuff in this area of the vehicle is really soft plastic in general, and one of those items is this ledge right here, because you put boxes on there, you scoot them forward, you scoot them back, and just in general, this takes a lot of damage, a lot of dings to it. But we have a very thick 3D carbon vinyl that really works well on surfaces like this. This has been our vehicle since probably late 2021, and we've used this vehicle quite a bit. First, we're going to take it off, and then we're going to show you how the installation is done. Just wanted to reshoot some of these videos for some of you Bronco owners that have just gotten your brand new Bronco, or those of you that didn't know us from the very beginning. If I didn't mention earlier, it is about 86 degrees out here. Now, you want to install this in at least 75 degree weather. Now, when we talk about weather, we don't mean a heated garage. This is a textured surface, and to stick properly, you want it to be in warm weather. Since it's so hot, we're kind of in the shade. If it was colder, we go ahead and face it to the sun, but you want this to be exposed to warm weather for a little while. You can also use a heat gun or a hair dryer to encourage it to bond to this piece. I think it's warm enough where we could just use pressure. The adhesive in this particular material is pressure and heat activated, so you can use both of those in conjunction for the best results. Alright, so we've removed that other piece. Obviously, you won't have that installed yet, and you can see there were already some scrapes in this from before we installed that. Ideally, you would use something like rubbing alcohol, clean this down, make sure that it is completely dry. Now, sometimes you might think that it's dried off, but it hasn't, especially if you're in a humid environment. So just give it a couple minutes to dry out. Since we cleaned this before, I'm not too worried about it being really dirty. You do want to clean areas where the vinyl might touch on accident. And if we look right here, some of this vinyl will have to be pushed down in and around this area. So go ahead and clean that off while you're at it. Of course, we're in Florida, so we have a lot of sand in this vehicle. I've been carrying around this piece for about 2 months. I really did want to get this installation done earlier. Some of our videos you see us doing a wet install, but we're going to do a dry install. The back of this material actually has air egress channels, and since this is textured, we won't have any issues with it when it comes to air bubbles. Now, you don't want this to touch anything because it will get pretty dirty on the backside. If it does, I would not recommend doing this installation in a windy environment unless you have someone to kind of hold the other end of this up. Now, you want to align this notch with the vinyl. Since this is such a big piece, I'm going to kind of just stick it down gently right there, guide it into place. Kind of aligning it as I go. This is not my permanent install. I just want to kind of lay it out. I'm not putting tons of pressure down. I just want to make sure it is in the right area and that I'm getting full coverage. So that was a pretty good estimate. Just started at one end, gently laid it down to the other end. So now, if it was really cold, you'd want to apply some heat to this along with pressure. As I mentioned earlier, we use heat and pressure to activate the adhesive. We start in the middle and kind of work our ways to the outside. Again, guiding it if it's just slightly misaligned. Remove all those bubbles. Basically, if it's any colder than 85 degrees, you're going to want to use heat. That's what really activates this material, especially when it's being bonded to a surface that isn't completely flat. Now we're going to go to the middle, push down, kind of work our way outwards to one end. Now I'm rolling this over the edge so it doesn't bunch up. I'm taking it a bit at a time. I'm not going all the way across. Even with this warm weather, if I want it to bond or have the best chance of bonding, I come back and use heat. I want to just make this a fairly quick install. When using heat on material like this, my rule of thumb is if it burns your fingers, it'll probably burn or overstretch the vinyl. So I kind of use heat and keep my hands partially in the way so I can gauge how much heat I'm using. This material is super forgiving if you have to partially pull it back up. As you can see, I'm just really working it. You want to stretch over areas and not bunch up or have any air left between the material and the trim. So like I said, feel free to go back no matter what your install temperature was and apply heat while doing this again. So now, hopefully we get another couple years out of this. There was nothing wrong with the other piece, honestly. We just pulled it back up so we could do another install video. Alright, so for more things like this, please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already, and hit the bell notification icon for the latest and greatest things we're coming out with for the 2021 and up Ford Bronco. Hello everyone, this is Chris with StickerFab. It's been a really long day. It's 6 p.m. We are going to reshoot one of our installations